One of Norman Rockwell's earliest memories was of lying on the floor listening to his father read David Copperfield and trying to draw portraits of the book's characters. Years later, he wrote, "I was very deeply impressed and moved by Dickens. He shocked and delighted me. So that, I thought, is what the world is really like. I became insatiably curious, and I began to look at things the way I imagined Dickens would have looked at them." This may explain why the warmth, humor, and sentiment in Rockwell's narrative art seems almost Dickensian, and why, during the season of A Christmas Carol, Rockwell turned to Dickens for inspiration. Whenever Rockwell considered a Dickens character for the post cover, he probably recalled illustrations by previous artists. If he'd seen reprints of the original editions of Dickens' novels, he would have known the work of Hablot Knight Brown, who illustrated 10 of the books under the pseudonym Phiz. A 1925 post cover harkens back to this illustration by Phiz of David Copperfield traveling on a wintry coach to London. This cover from 1932 probably refers to the warm-hearted Cheeryble brothers, here illustrated by Phiz for the novel Nicholas Nickleby. Dickens' first novel was the highly popular Pickwick Papers. Among the book's characters was Tony Weller, a hardy stagecoach driver, here illustrated by Phiz, and by Rockwell. The central figure of the book is Mr. Pickwick. The early illustrations capture the stout old gentleman who seeks adventures with members of his Pickwick Club. But Rockwell's cherubic Pickwick gives a far better representation of the kind-hearted, good-humored old gentleman. Phiz didn't illustrate the first edition of A Christmas Carol. That privilege was given John Leech. The frontispiece for the 1842 first edition shows Scrooge's old boss, Mr. Fezziwig, dancing with his wife at the office Christmas party. And here, with threadbare cloak and worn-out shoes, is Rockwell's Mr. Cratchit, with a beaming Tiny Tim who you can easily imagine saying, "God bless us, everyone." This video is brought to you by the Saturday Evening Post Digital Archives. Saturday Evening Post members can explore our 200-year-old archive for only $15 a year. Subscribe today.